Hi, I'm Dr. Nichelle Haynes.
I'm Dr. Kristin Lasseter.
And we're Medical Mamas. This is your place to get evidence-based information about your reproductive mental health.
Meaning mental health in relation to reproductive hormone changes like around your period, pregnancy, postpartum, menopause, even infertility.
Today, we're going to be talking about sleep.
We love sleep, or I love sleep.
I love sleep. I sometimes have problems getting enough.
Yeah, you're not good at that.
No. Okay, let's talk about ways where we can make our sleep better and maybe why it's important.
Yeah, and talking about like if you're having insomnia, what are some natural ways that you can treat that and hopefully not have it anymore.
I guess maybe talking about why sleep is important is a good place to start.
Yeah.
I mean, just for me, like my attention, focus, mood, all of those things are not good after a bad night's sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm less likely to actually go work out or take the time to like eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I crave worse food when I'm tired.
Mm-hmm. I mean, gosh, how many times have I like made a cup of coffee in the morning when I'm really tired, not gotten to drink it because whatever the kids are doing, put it in the microwave and just forget about it. Like my memory, attention, focus, all the coffee. Memory, attention, focus, all of those things are just not as good for me when I have not gotten a good night's sleep. Also, the worse your sleep is, the higher your risk is for depression.
Yeah, especially in pregnancy. So insomnia in pregnancy is actually linked to being an increased risk for postpartum depression. But we also see just in general mental illness and insomnia kind of having this interaction together where one or the other kind of influences each other.
Right. Life expectancy?
Life expectancy goes up with, I think it's like 8 hours of sleep, but then anything on average, more or less, kind of decreases life expectancy.
And then isn't there some information about if you are awake for a certain number of hours, it's essentially the same as driving drunk?
Yeah, we were always told that in med school.
Yeah, so
that's fun.
I mean, it's very good. I know when you're not getting good sleep, it's like, oh, by the way, your driving's dangerous too.
Watch out.
Watch
out. Near a hospital with like residents.
7 a.m. usually is the time, yeah. And then of course, if you're not sleeping, you can get psychotic.
Yeah, there were some studies done looking at people who were sleep deprived, and a lot of them got psychotic. You start like dreaming and hallucinating while you're awake, which is creepy.
Aren't our brains so cool?
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting. Okay, so what can we do? Like, we know why it's important, obviously. We've all had bad nights of sleep and just like not done well the next day.
Yeah, so there's certain set of things that everyone can do that's called collectively sleep hygiene, and having really good sleep hygiene will help you have really good sleep. So not only not having insomnia, but also just getting deeper, better quality sleep.
Right, exactly. So I think of nighttime sleep, the hygiene of it, starting first thing in the morning.
Absolutely.
Right. So, okay, I don't do it. I am getting better though. Okay. Basically, it's just waking up at the same time every morning, even if you have the opportunity to sleep in.
So even on weekends, waking up at the same time every day. I feel like I'm pretty good at this.
You are good at it.
It's one of the rare things I'm good at. But what I tell my patients who, because I'll tell my patients, are you waking up at the same time every day? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, what about on the weekends? They're like, no. So what you should do is set your alarm the same time every day. Get up, get yourself out of bed, even if you're super tired, even if you we're up partying the night before, which all of us moms, totally have the time for. Then wait an hour or two, and if you're still tired, then let yourself take a little nap. But at least getting out of bed at the same time every day.
Right, and going to bed at the same time every day if you can. I know kids just like really throw a wrench into that, but the ideal situation and the way you're best going to support your mental health is going to sleep at the same time, waking up at the same time every day, and then if you need to, you can add in a nap.
Our brain kind of works on this internal sleep-wake cycle clock, and so the more regular your sleep cycle is in terms of the time of day that you're getting it, the better your brain's working in terms of helping you get that sleep. So it has to do with melatonin levels, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Melatonin. Okay, so waking up around the same time and then also getting like that morning sunlight. It's essentially your brain's cue that like it's time to be awake, time to kind of increase those cortisol levels, get you going, get you moving. So natural light first thing in the morning is great. Can signal to your body it's time to get up and get the day going.
Yeah, so maybe go for a walk first thing in the morning, or just open up all your blinds and curtains and let that natural light in.
Perfect. Okay, so that's kind of the morning. We definitely want to be like expending some energy during the day so that, you know, we do get ourselves to be tired in the evening. So exercise.
Yeah, exercise. There's even a study, I don't know, I read this somewhere in one of those days, about how if you get really vigorous exercise and your like internal body temperature increases, then you actually sleep deeper later on at night. It's connected with like more time spent in deep sleep.
Which is restorative.
Which is
Yeah.
restorative sleep,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then you don't want to have those like really vigorous exercises late in the evening, right before bed.
Yeah, because then that'll just up your adrenaline and then it makes it harder for you to go to sleep when you want to.
Right. What else? Caffeine consumption is really important.
So we don't mean to endorse caffeine consumption. We mean don't drink caffeine
Right.
after lunch. Even in that like afternoon slump.
Yeah.
Everybody gets the afternoon slump. It's fine. Maybe take a little 5-minute power nap when that happens.
I can never fall asleep in 5 minutes.
Well, you know.
Maybe just like a 5-minute brain rest.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically caffeine is a stimulant, as we all know. And if you're stimulating yourself right before bed, that's like obviously not going to lead to good sleep. So we want to try to get the caffeine out of your system. It lasts in your system for around 8 hours. So we definitely want to have the last caffeine consumption at least 8 hours before bedtime. So I usually say just like around lunch. Like if you want to have a little bit of caffeine with lunch or something like that, that's fine. But we want to kind of cut it off after that so that it can leave your system and you can be like less stimulated before bed.
Similarly with fluids, like drinking water and things like that, you want to try to do most of that in the first half of the day so that you're not having to wake up and pee throughout the night. So definitely don't, drink water before bed. I have some patients who will like keep it by their beds and every time they get up, they'll have a little bit of water. Don't do that. Just do it all in the morning.
Oh, I'm so
Or
bad
early
at that.
afternoon.
Okay, I'm gonna do better at that. Although I don't really feel like I have to get up and pee a lot, but you want to try to get it done during the day.
I get up and pee every night. It's terrible.
Are you doing your water right?
No. I'm
Okay,
not.
there you go. Well, we need to follow our own advice. Yeah. Okay, naps. We already touched on naps a little bit, but want to try to keep your naps earlier in the day if possible, and then keep them shorter.
I don't think you're supposed to take longer than 20-minute naps, which it's really hard to do. But
If I want a nap, I want it 2 hours.
yeah, don't do 2 hours.
No.
That's definitely not good for your sleep hygiene.
No, okay. 20-minute nap, 20-minute brain rest,
And not close to bedtime.
not close to bedtime. Yes. Okay, so kind of as we move through the day, then we want to start prepping for bedtime probably earlier than most people plan to prep for bedtime.
Trying to start dimming lights or not have as much lights on as it's getting darker outside. So again, your brain's kind of on this sleep-wake cycle, but it's the natural way then it does that is based on the sunlight. So if the sun's down but you have all the lights on in the house, it's kind of counterproductive.
Right. So similar to what we do in the morning when we get that early morning light to kind of stimulate us, we want to kind of, stop using the overhead lights, start using lamps, and then the big white squares for a lot of people is phones, TVs, screens of some kind. I mean, even if you're using the blue light or the, nighttime feature or whatever, it's still stimulating to your brain. So
yeah, it's still light that's going into your brain.
eyes, then brain.
Eyes. I was gonna say.
So basically what it does is as things get a little bit darker, it simulates your melatonin production.
A lot of people take supplemental melatonin, which is Nichelle's pet peeve. But there's actually like no research on like what does taking supplemental melatonin do to us long term. Maybe it doesn't do anything, but maybe it like increases the risk of I don't know what.
Something. My example is always your toe falling off.
Your toe falling off. But our brain naturally makes melatonin, and so this is one of the ways to help it, naturally make more melatonin is kind of turning off lights and not looking at screens late at night. Definitely, I would say an hour or two before bedtime, no screen time.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I need to be better about that one too.
Yeah, we were laying in bed last
Texting.
night. Texting.
I was texting her pillow recommendations, so it's still the light. I know it's not good, but... Okay,
Speaking of laying in bed.
Okay, bed is for sleep and sex only.
Yeah, sleep and sex only. So don't lay in bed texting your best friend like pillow recommendations. Don't read in bed. Don't do work in bed.
Don't watch TV in bed, especially.
Yes,
right.
It's a really bad one.
The other thing is, don't lay in bed hoping, wishing you were asleep.
Yes, our brain is like a puppy, if you think about it, with sleep. So you get into bed if your, habit or what you've trained your brain to do is get into bed and then start, thinking about, oh, I need to do this thing tomorrow, or oh, I really need to get sleep. Then every time you get into bed, once you create that habit, that's what your brain's going to automatically start doing. So treating it like a puppy, like, okay, when you get into bed, that's time for you to shut down and go to sleep. And so if you're laying there for more than 15 or 20 minutes and your brain is not shutting down and going to sleep, then get up out of bed, go do something that's calming.
You can read a book.
Yeah, meditate, do some breathing, something that is calming, relaxing, that starts making you feel drowsy. Then once you feel drowsy, get back into bed and try and go to sleep again. And it might be like 10 times that you're doing this in the beginning, like, okay, you're laying down again, and then it's been 20 minutes, you can't fall asleep again, so you get out. But basically you're like training your brain that, hey, when you're in bed, that's time to go to sleep, that's not time to do this other stuff.
Right, and that's why we also say, like, bed is only for sleep or sex, because then it just trains your brain to know that when I'm in bed, it's time to be sleeping. Yeah. I'm going to work on some things, waking up at the same time, making sure I get my fluids. The caffeine's not really an issue for me. I usually stop around like 10. And then making sure that I'm not like using screens late in the evening. Yeah.
I would say the things I'm going to work on, but I probably won't actually do it.
Okay, we're going to keep each other accountable.
Okay.
I hope that you can identify something for you to work on from this video. Your sleep will benefit from it, and then we know all the reasons that that's going to be good for your overall health. So let's do those things. Let us know in the comments which one you're going to be doing. We'll help keep you accountable. Thank you for being here today. If you liked our video, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Bye.